Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome one and all to another live stream. In the virtual studio today, we have Sian, a business operations manager who specializes in something that she refers to as human doing into human being. Now, I kind of understand that, but part of the reason we're here today is so she can make it absolutely bloody clear to me what the hell that means. Sian, what exactly do you mean by that expression, and why should we be all striving towards it?
So I suppose basically we're called human beings. We're not called human doings, we're called human beings. And being is, for me, about being in the present. It's about from a previous background, because I used to be a yoga and Pilates instructor, you might talk about it being like mindfulness, being in the present moment. Whereas what most of us end up doing, and I'm going to put my hand up and go, right, I've been there, I've done that, I've done it not often, but life takes over sometimes, and we end up in a human doing, which is that you're so busy, stuck just like on the hamster wheel, whatever you want to call it, just doing things, and you don't actually get a time to exist and enjoy what is going on. So I've recently moved my mum with my brother from Essex to Cornwall, and to be honest, it's not the distance, although it is a long distance. It wasn't actually the distance that was the issue. The issue was the family house, 48 years, like very big house, 4 double bedrooms, big downstairs, lots of storage, double garage, massive loft, you name it. And my mum is a hoarder, and so the amount of stuff that we had to be reduced because mum is going into a retirement 2-bedroom flat. Now, obviously, we all know, like, a 2-bedroom flat does not have a lot of storage.
No.
And so, and one of our big things was we didn't want to end up paying for storage. But so I basically put my life on hold. I've done it various times, but I put my life on hold for 10 days just a couple of weeks ago. And I flew to the UK from Gran Canaria, because I'm back in Gran Canaria now. I flew to the UK. I actually had to fly down to Cornwall to sign the contract because it got lost in the post. And we literally, for 7 days, my brother and I worked from 8 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, decluttering, downsizing everything that my mum had stored. Now, because that was all we were doing, we weren't able really to enjoy things. We weren't like people said, what was the weather like? I don't know what the weather was like, because I wasn't really aware. All I was aware of was what was sat in front of me when I was going through a box going, do I need this? Are me and my brother and my son and my brother's children, are they going to want this? And so I was definitely although it was a personal life rather than business life, I was in a human doing. All I was doing was just like, I was so involved, I didn't know what was going outside my little bubble. Whereas what we're supposed to be doing is connecting with other people, noticing what the weather's like. Like, for instance, normally when we used to go to my mum's, there were a couple of fox cubs that always play in the garden. Now, I couldn't tell you whether those fox cubs came that week. You know, they were very tame. They'd come and sit in the garden. If it was slightly sunny, you'd see them sunning themselves. You know, it was their home. It was, you know, it was always really lovely because they were so chilled. But I couldn't tell you whether they were there because I wasn't really in the present moment.
Right. You're on the hamster wheel of having to get the job done.
Yeah. And we do that in business a lot. And so we're so involved. Like a lot of us, like, for example, like I've set up my business because I really value my work-life balance. And for me, I want time to, say, go to the gym. I'm hoping to go to the gym at lunchtime and meet someone and have a coffee afterwards. But if I was in a corporate environment, I wouldn't be able to take 2 hours off to go to the gym and have a coffee. I've set up my business so that I can do the things that are important to me. Yet if I get so involved in maybe doing my social media, maybe going through my emails, you know, all these different things that we have to do, if I get all bogged down in these little bitty tasks that actually don't add value to my business, I'm not a human being. I'm not enjoying my time. And I'm not doing what I set up my business to do because I'm so busy doing everything that I don't get to exist and enjoy the life that I've sort of set up for myself, developed for myself.
I get you. So this is a motto for your business, dare I say. It's even it's a copyrighted strap line. But so your focus, I guess, is for your clients is to help them get away from just existing and enable them to have a life, to coin a phrase.
Yes, we're about to have a little guest.
That's right.
This is COVID.
Is it COVID?
Obviously not on a hamster wheel.
No,
but he's quite interested in. So that's another reason. Obviously, like having animals, enjoying having your pets, being able to say walk the dog, or sit there and stroke the cat. You know, we can't always take that time, or be with your child to go to sports day, or I mean, so human doing into human being is now trademarked in the UK as a description for my flagship service, where I help business owners like myself, but obviously, you know, like my job is the business operations for, maybe they're a business coach, maybe they've got like another online business, but they're doing everything in their business. Then, so for example, if you're a photographer, you earn money when you take photos, when you edit photos, when you do all that, that's when you make money. But you've still got to do all the bits behind, or somebody else has, because you can't just take the photos and that's it. There's a whole, like, looking after your clients, all the
infrastructure of your business. Effectively.
Yes. And so when we start out, we do everything because we don't have that many clients.
Yes.
But then as we get more clients, we still keep doing all the bits that we were doing initially. Whereas actually, once we get to a certain revenue, then if we value our time over pure profits, then we need to look at like stopping ourselves doing the tasks that aren't our zone of genius, aren't what we're good at, that we don't enjoy. You know, we set up our business to enjoy it.
We set our businesses many times to enjoy our lives, and the problem is the business becomes our lives. That's the issue, I guess.
Yes.
So is part of your role to identify where that's happening and say, you know, do you realize that out of the 10, out of the 100 elements that are in your life, 70 of them are all run by you, leaving no time for you actually to enjoy the rest of it.
So, for example, one of my clients that I worked with for a couple of years, she was saying that she only wanted to work part-time in a business. So she had a pension as well as running her business.
Right.
And so she had that element that her time was more important than pure profits. And she said to me, I only want to work 3 days a week. I'm currently working full time. So the first thing that I did was look at what she was doing.
Okay.
I looked at what she was doing. I then looked at what she wanted to deliver. She was a coach and trainer, and we looked at what she wanted to deliver, what turnover she wanted, and what she needed to do to achieve that. And we worked out what either could be just got rid of, what could be streamlined, what other people could do. And we were able to cut it down so that she was working less hours. Now, for her, one of the things was keeping her accountable. So weekly check-ins in a meeting, and then like WhatsApps in between, so that she was staying focused.
Right.
And for example, we worked out she was doing, for example, she was doing Google ads and Facebook ads to get leads, and then she wasn't following up with them. Yes, I know. But it happens because actually she was so busy, inverted commas, that she didn't have time to keep ringing up and try and get hold of the person. So I brought someone in who could do those calls and set appointments. So I had an appointment setter. So that meant that instead of her maybe spending 3 or 4 times trying to ring a person and then having to book appointment, because quite often, you answer the call, but you haven't got half an hour to chat about things. So I took away that element of her having to inverted commas waste her time. Somebody else did it. And it meant that she had specific times in her diary that were appointments that were when she was going to talk to these leads. I'm going to be really... I've just noticed that my nails are the same colour as the surround. Sorry.
It's lovely, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that. I've just noticed it. Sorry. Totally distracted.
Pretended like it was intentional. Oh.
Well, yes. Yeah, look, it is. It's totally intentional.
So in essence, part of your role is to divine from a person or a business's precarious existence where they could snatch back time for themselves by streamlining or better apportioning that time, or as you said earlier, getting rid of the bits that no longer serve them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because like one of the things is that a lot of, like people, like I say, like I could come into a business that somebody has been doing maybe for 5 years, maybe for even longer. And we get into habits. We all get into habits.
Absolutely.
And it's a fresh set of eyes as well. And because my expertise is organising, I drove my brother mad with the move because...
I can't imagine you ever did that, Sian.
It was all about organisation. I'm in my element. I wasn't in my element because some of it, like the contract went in the post, it left Spain and it never arrived in the UK.
I don't understand that bit.
I don't, because I've actually, obviously I'm in different Facebook groups for people that live in Spain that are from the UK, and quite often people are renewing their passports and they have to send their passport, and they send it the same service that I sent the contract.
Yikes.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm like, oh my God, there's just no... I have to be honest, and I flew over, and because I do spend time over in the UK, last time I got my passport renewed, I did it from the UK, got it sent in the UK, received it back in the UK. And so, and now there's just no way that I would put my passport in the Spanish post. I'm sorry just to Correos in Spain.
Yes, so don't come for us. We're not trying to malign the Spanish post, but
they're doing an internal investigation at the moment to tell me what happened to my letter.
Lucky it didn't have something important in it that you couldn't replicate by flying.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay.
So anyway, totally off at a tangent.
Of course,
we've gone off at 2 tangents, haven't we?
I love a tangent. No, here's the thing. There are people out there who are thinking, perhaps if they're watching this, I've got it all under control, me. I can do it all. I can slow down anytime I like. You know, I know all the things that I really intend to offload that to an external resource. But it never happens.
This is the point. It's, you know, I'm not saying that people don't recognize it, but people don't have time to stop and do it because they are so busy. You know, so in a way, somebody that knows that they need to do it is an ideal client because they're already in that mindset. Somebody who doesn't realize
first of all, you've got to convince them that by streamlining and by having other people externally do bits and pieces for them, that they could get their time back. That's the thing, making sure that equation makes sense to them. I mean, it's when you've done it and you look back and you think, wow, all those hours I spent doing X, Y, and Z, I could have been painting my nails. But the
stroking my cat, walking the dog.
My cat. Anything that doesn't involve bashing your head against a brick wall, you know, which often, you know, acquisitional side or some of the back end services side can feel that way to someone who just wants to get on, do the creative stuff, and also then perhaps enjoy spending time painting. I was going to say painting their cat, stroking their cat. Yes, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't have worked at all.
No. My partner does love painting, but he's never painted the cat.
There's always time for a change.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we noticed one time we did notice that the cat had he's got a little black dot by one of his whiskers, and you saw he's a ginger, and it's a tiny little black spot. And the one time we actually thought that, like, my partner had accidentally got a bit of black paint, and then we realised he's actually, like, some of his whiskers are white, some of his whiskers are black, and he does have just like a tiny little black dot on one side of his face. Very not really noticeable because we didn't really.
And you tell me off for going off on tangents, right? Okay, look.
You started it.
Oh, it's my fault now. All right.
Yeah, you talked about painting the cat. You just had no idea what that was going to lead to.
Not at all. Before we sign off,
another one about painting the cat.
Go on.
Come on, what is it? Meet the parents.
Yes.
Because he loses the cat, and then he goes to the lost cat place, and he finds a cat that looks similar but hasn't got the right little black bit on the end of the tail, so he paints it.
That's it.
So there we go. So you can paint a cat.
Well, perhaps Susan Cave has commented, slow down to speed up, Sian.
Yes.
Little thumbs up. That's very kind, Susan.
Yes.
Really glad that you're down with the human doing into human being crowd. Sian, just before we wind this up, because we're just coming up to 20 minutes, would you just give us a quick summary of what your catchphrase means and who should be the people who should be in contact with you?
So really anyone who isn't able to spend the time that they want outside their business, but they have to value time over pure profit.
Perfect.
If all you want to do is make loads of money, and you're quite happy working loads of hours, then I'm not your girl. If you want time back to, whether it's to go to, like I say, go down it doesn't really matter what it's to do. If you want,
yeah, but it's your choice.
Freedom,
it's your choice to do it rather than that you have to do it. I'm going to leave the last word with Susan Cave, who's just jumped in to say it's crucial to maintain our humanity and our connection with each other, and gave you a little thumbs up. And I think I echo that. Sian, thank you so much for spending time today. Guys, theoretically, you should see more of Sian more often, because she's been going through this hiatus while sorting her mum's stuff out. She's not been available to us, but theoretically we should be doing this far more often. So look forward to seeing her next week. Until then, I wish you all a safe and exciting week, and of course, great mental health. Thank you very much, Sian.
Thank you. Bye.